Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to our very special sort of healthy happy hour. We're going to have to change the name because it really isn't an hour when we're online. It is just normally information for about 20-30 minutes maximum. But if you are lucky enough to get along to one of our live events, which I definitely recommend that you do, obviously we've got a bit of time to try out some products. So if you ever hear of a 30 Days Healthy Living Healthy Happy Hour event, go along because there'll be samples to taste. Tonight is a slightly different call though, because in January we had over 1,000 people that did the 30 Days Healthy Living plan. And that was actually just 1,000 people within sort of our team. So the Eastwood team and the Wills team and the Armfield team. So actually all over the country and across the 6 countries that Arbon products are available in, we absolutely had thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people. January being a really popular month to do something like a cleanse, a detox, or special diet, because most people are feeling it after the Christmas period. So I don't think you guys were like that at all. But it doesn't matter when you decide to do this plan. There are all different reasons for people doing it. So before we even begin, I kind of want to get rid of the misconception that this is a diet about losing weight. For me personally, doing this plan, it's never been about weight loss. It's always been about how you feel. And the name of this program, 30 Days to Healthy Living and Beyond, is actually really exactly what it is. It's healthy living, living a healthy lifestyle, and how you can maintain healthy habits going forward. And that's actually what health is about. It's not about being healthy for just 30 days. It's not about being healthy one day of the year, or treating yourself just one day of the year. It's about providing a balance, and above all, a big education on food and healthy living. Before we come to our testimonials, I'm just going to share my screen with you guys quickly and share part of our 30 Days to Healthy Living presentation that we normally share. So for you guys who've never heard about the 30 days or don't know what it's about, it is about cleansing our body's natural detox system. So looking at our gut, our kidneys, our livers, basically helping it along. So I want you to think of your body like a bathtub. And the tap represents what you're taking in, and the plug hole is where you are eliminating. So if you imagine your bathtub is running and the plug hole is blocked, eventually the bath would overflow. And this is just the same as if we are ingesting too many toxins and allergens, which are then clogging up our plug hole effectively, our gut and all the other natural detox systems we have, so that they can't function efficiently. And this is due to toxic overload. So then we start not feeling well, and this can come in many forms, from bloating, headaches, muscle ache, skin irritation, brain fog, weight gain, sugar cravings, fatigue, diabetes, depression, and so much more that most of us wouldn't necessarily relate to what we're taking in and our nutrition. We then may take some tablets to feel better, or sometimes go to the doctor to get a prescription for some medication, and that's just to treat the symptoms. But treating a symptom does not cure the cause of the problems. So my question to everyone, whenever we're talking about the 30 Days Healthy Living, is if your bath was overflowing, would you turn off the tap or would you run to get a mop? I know I would certainly turn off the tap, but before the plan, when it came to my health, I was actually just mopping around my unhealthy habits. So this plan will allow you to turn off the tap, eliminate the toxins, and make you feel more energized and healthier. And by cleaning out your system, you'll actually benefit more from the healthy foods you're actually taking in. I also want to ask you guys as well, what does healthy look like to you? How would you want to feel, let alone from how you want to look? Because actually what we're finding from this plan is that we're actually dealing with how you feel first, and how you look basically follows on from that. This slide, our next slide, is talking about toxins. If you're not sure what toxins actually are, toxins can be produced in the body through all the bad foods that we're eating, and they kind of just get left there and sat there because they're not something the body easily deals with and can eliminate. So this might be another way of you understanding toxins and realizing how this may have already touched your life. Have you ever lost weight and then put it all back on again and then some? Have you ever dieted and been so good but never lost a pound? Have you ever been a quick weight loss and not felt well at all? These are all symptoms of toxic overload. Fat cells are in our body for protection, so the toxins get stored inside a cell. You may have been slim but not felt well, and that was certainly me. I've always looked healthy because people base health on size, but actually I didn't feel great, especially in the mornings. So what's happening, the toxins are getting stored inside a cell, and then therefore if you're slim like I was, you're actually then much more densely toxic because there are no fat cells. If you've burnt them off from all the exercise you're doing, you're still ingesting the toxic cells, you're more densely populated, therefore you're going to feel the effects heavily. So we need to eliminate the toxins so the fat cells can all disappear and not return, as well as allowing our bodies to function properly and therefore feel fantastic. So a detox, I just want to put this across to everyone because this word gets bandied about with all sorts of different programs. With ours, we don't generally call it a detox. It's not something that we're just doing. It's actually helping our body's natural detox system to function properly. So our plan is aiming to clean out our system and reboot it so it can do its job. The education along the way and the newly formed healthy habits will help you to maintain this. So again, just coming back to those toxic overload signs, have a little look through this list if you can see it. Sugar cravings, low or inconsistent energy, bloating or gas, which no one likes to talk about, but we all get it. Caffeine addiction, binge eating or drinking, mood swings, irritability, anxiety, brain fog or difficulty concentrating, fluid retention, migraines or headaches. If you're getting these on a regular basis, obviously we would suggest, yes, going to your doctors. But what doctors I find don't tend to do, and I actually had quite a severe kind of indigestion problem when I was younger, and not once, this was over a course of a few years, not once was I asked about my eating habits. So really have a look at your nutritional habits because doctors aren't always going to ask you those sorts of questions. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen there. And we're going to start to hear some of the testimonials from all the amazing people that joined on for January. Some of these people have done this program before many times. Some people, it's been their first time. So I'm actually first going to go to the amazing Selena and Tom Shrimpton. These guys actually husband and wife, and they both did this together. I'm just going to unmute you guys. Oh, it's not letting me unmute you. You might need to unmute yourself. I'll spotlight your video. There you go.
Really looking forward to just sharing a little bit about how we got on with the 30-day plan in January. And as Laura said, we have done it probably a couple of times a year over the last few years since building our Arbonne business. For me, the kind of best thing about doing the plan in January was actually my change in how I feel about caffeine. So I actually only normally have one caffeine drink a day, and that was my morning tea. First thing in the morning, I'd have a cup of tea. So you might think, well, that's not really very much at all. But it was the emotional attachment and my behavior around that one cup of tea a day, which I realized was not healthy. The way that I acted, the way I speak to my kids, like I'd be really grumpy. Mummy's got to have this cup of tea. Not quite happy with continuing that. So actually a few days before the plan started, we'd run out of tea bags. We said, well, there was no point in even buying them and having them in the house. And actually I have been such a nicer, like just a more positive version of what I want to be in the morning, and realize I don't need that cup of tea. And since we stopped the plan last week, I've had a few teas, but I've actually carried on with the detox teas, and I just don't feel like that desperation to have caffeine. So that's my best kind of takeaway.
She was a nicer person to me too, which is great. I love the plan because I like to cook. And I think if you don't have to be a great cook to do well on the plan. I must just say that. But if you do enjoy cooking, it's fantastic because it gets you to consider different food sources. It gets you to think about different combinations and different alternatives to the things that you'd usually have. And we have these amazing recipe books, recipe ideas, shopping lists that really get you creative in the kitchen. So what I enjoyed last month when we did the plan was just experimenting and just trying dishes, variations of family food that we would normally have, but making them plan friendly. And I just absolutely love that. I'm like the king of the one pot meal. So I would make incredible batches of like stews, chilies, curries, all 30-day plan approved, batch them up, have them a few days in a row, sometimes with like brown rice, sometimes with no rice at all, just on its own. So I really like that part of it, having that structure. The other thing that one of the really big benefits to me that I noticed, especially on this last time I did the plan, was I didn't have any massive crashes. And I'm a teacher, so I have quite a full-on week, and I can have real big sugar crashes. So I would have something to eat and feel okay, and then come really down really hard. And what the plan does is it gives you an opportunity to balance your sugar levels evenly throughout the day. So we try not to eat foods that spike our sugar. So everything's low on the glycemic index, which is great. So what I found is I had this real even keel across the day, and I wasn't experiencing those real massive up and downs. And that's massive for anyone that's like got quite a full-on job, or busy people that just want to feel great for extended periods of time. And also, it's not about calorie counting and deprivation on this plan. It's about eating the right foods, whole foods, and eating when you're hungry. If you feel hungry, we eat on the plan. There's loads of great snack ideas in between meals that you don't need to feel guilty about. And for me, being a busy person, that was massive. And you know what? I play in 4 bands, so I'm playing in venues that have a lot of alcohol around. So for me, it's been a really good discipline to just obviously stay away from the alcohol and have fizz sticks instead, sparkling water. I was like the envy of the band. People were like, Tom, what are you doing? You're super disciplined. And I was like, discipline is sexy, guys. This is the new rock and roll. And people have said to me, like, my skin complexion has been really great this last month. I've been, really noticeably more positive and alive and vibrant. And I just love all that about the plan. So like Selena says, we do it 2 or 3 times a year, and it's just a fantastic, healthy reset.
That's great. Can I just ask, because obviously you guys have children. I know that you've got 2 lovely children. They're both quite young as well. So what do you do? What do you find on the plan? What would you say about it if you're on the plan? Have they followed some of the meals you're doing? Have you? How do you find doing the plan with a family?
So you have to be a little bit creative with it. There have been occasions where we've had to prepare something like a variation of the 30-day plan meal for them, so they'll eat it. But I would say about 70% of the time, they will have the same as we have when we're on the plan, and they'll just pick out bits that they don't like. For example, I do a really amazing, I say it's really amazing. Hardly anyone's had it apart from us, but like a chili type dish, and I'll put like chickpeas, kidney beans, and things like that. They'll pick out the chickpeas, no big deal. So
they think they're going to kill them.
They're not keen on chickpeas. I love chickpeas. So yeah, there are some things that they just will pick and choose with. But I think it's all about flavors. I think if you flavor things up really well, and so if I did a curry dish, they will always have some natural yogurt on there to like chill it down a little bit. We wouldn't have that because we can't have that on the plan. So little variations. But our kids, we've brought them up that they eat what's put in front of them, and if they don't eat it, they go hungry. So we're not the kind of family that will just do an additional dish. We've never done that, so they're kind of used to that anyway. And if I'm just happy that they try stuff. And if they don't eat it,
would you say that they're becoming more they're healthier as well, like because you guys are doing that because of what you're cooking?
Yeah, I would say that, and especially Ruby, our youngest, she's much more adventurous than Oliver, who's a bit older. She will eat more. She'll try new things a bit more readily. But if Oliver's hungry, he'll eat it, and that's great. And he understands about the 30-day plan. He understands that we try and incorporate healthy living much more now. And I think it's about involving them in it, and like they'll help me in the kitchen when I'm making stuff, and so it's getting them involved is really key. And when you're on the plan, you're very much in the mode of like planning ahead, and you can get the kids involved in that planning ahead as well. Like take them shopping, get them involved in helping you choose ingredients and things like that. That can work really well too.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's great, guys. I'm actually going to go now to somebody who has done it for the first time. That's Sabrina. So I'm just going to spotlight your video. Sabrina, take it away.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, brilliant. So yeah, I'm Sabrina, and quick background about me. I'm currently a care assistant in a nursing home, healthcare assistant in hospital. I work at a wedding venue when there's events, and also have the Arbonne business. So busy, but I love it. And this was, my first time doing the plan, the 30 days. So what made me say yes to it was a few things. I turned 30 in November, so I definitely sort of just had a look at what I was eating and wanted to make some changes going forward. Also, I'm getting married next year, so I wanted a plan where I'd heard you could do it maybe 3 or 4 times a year, so I wanted to see about just feeling healthier and looking my best on my wedding day. And so that's why I signed up to it, really. And it was amazing. Definitely found it quite challenging in the first week, but that was just like training my brain, and obviously it's a massive change from what I had been doing, but I love it. And continuing on, I've finished the plan, but it's definitely altered my nutrition and how I feel and how I think about food. It's got me cooking more. I'm a rubbish cook. I cried over a sausage sandwich one time. It was all dramatic. But now I'm really like in the kitchen a lot more, which my fiance loves. I love the turkey nugget recipe. I had that like 5 times on the plan. And if I can do that, then literally anyone can. So that's what I really loved about it, getting me cooking. And everyone was just complimenting me on my skin and my hair, and that I'd look like more vibrant and glowing. And the big thing for me was the energy. Obviously having quite a few jobs, all my jobs are ad hoc, so I choose to book work, and I just feel that I can book plenty of hours in because I have the energy to do it. And I'm not like feeling sluggish or tired. So I absolutely loved it. And like I said, I'm continuing on to have like the 80-20 approach that people talk about. And I loved it.
Perfect, well done. And how do you feel like moving forward now? So you've completed, obviously for you it's your first time doing this plan. How is it changing habits moving forward? Because obviously that is a big part of it, isn't it? Is creating new habits.
Yeah, so definitely, like I've just picking things up in the supermarket, I felt like the stuff on the plan, it has like 1 or 2 ingredients in, and I was picking other stuff and it's got so many ingredients in, and I'd never looked at that before. So it's really made me think differently about how I shop, and it just makes sense to eat food like from the earth. And all the food was really clean and fresh and colourful. And working with old people, it's some illnesses they can't help, but a lot of their suffering and pain is down to their lifestyle choices that they've made. So I'm really aware that I want to grow old well.
Yeah. Gracefully and glamorously.
Yeah, without pain or suffering, as long as I can. So going forward, that's like my main drive.
Exactly. That's quite a crucial point you've made, because I think when we're young, and I'm going to class myself in that, but you do think you're invincible, and that one day where you eat that burger, that McDonald's, I should really say, but famous well-known burgers, there are many burgers out there available, but you do that one day and you don't really think about consequences, and you don't see any consequences, therefore, but doing it again and again and again, it's going to show up, but it's not going to show up maybe for years, like you say, later down the line. Thank you so much, Sabrina, for sharing that. I'm just going to pass straight on now to lovely Heidi. Let me just find you, Heidi. You're unmuted. I'm just going to spotlight you. Take it away, Heidi.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, so I'm Heidi. Yes, I am an Arbonne consultant. Yes, did the plan in January again. And like Selena and a lot of people, I do it 2 or 3 times a year. The first time I did it was June 2017. Didn't do it for weight, did it for just because I was feeling rubbish. And for me, like everyone you hear, there's a lot of stuff you don't necessarily see visibly. And it just changed a lot of things for me. And also I did lose 11 pounds. For which now, so June 17th, I've actually maintained by following an 80-20 lifestyle. And that's what I want to touch on. It's 30 days to healthy living and beyond. that is what's so great about this plan. You know, at the ripe old age of 48, I have tried everything, trust me, everything, and not just for weight issues, just for other issues. And for me, this is one of the easiest, but not just the easiest. I think obviously it gets easier the more you do it, but it's how you sort of, I think this time around, I think you always learn something every time you do it. And what I've learned now is I've cooked my first meatloaf at 48. I've never cooked that in my life. And, you know, the recipes, I mean, like Sabrina, I've never been a great cook. I never got that gene in the family, but I think it's more because it kind of scared me a bit, and I was a bit lazy in the kitchen. I'd rather strip wallpaper and things like that, but it's got me cooking more. And again, looking at ingredients, like Sabrina said, but also I find you go shopping and you get those amazing support systems with the shopping list and everything. And you, like Tom and Selena do as well, you know, you batch cook, or if you plan, it makes it easier. And I tend to, once I bought I'm buying less. But it's just, for me, what it's given me is, and I always state this, but no medical claims, but for me personally, I don't use my inhaler anymore since June 2017. I don't take amitriptyline to help relax me and get me to sleep due to back pain. And I no longer suffer from IBS unless, you know, over Christmas time, I overindulge a little bit. Hence why I do the plan in January. You pick back up where you've come from. And it helps you to discover the allergens that are the, you know, the problems really. And like you said, Laura, doctors don't have time to look at allergens and that. And I've come to realise that white wine doesn't like me, and actually I no longer feel like it. And cheese, I'm not bothered about cheese. And I think it's just it's just 30 days. And then if you want to continue. And it's just the best thing. You know, I'm a hairdresser. I didn't say that, sorry. I'm a hairdresser and I don't get lunch breaks. And to make a smoothie and knowing I've got all those nutritional things in there, I can just grow and I have a sip, and the fizz sticks, they keep you going, you know, and it's just brilliant. And the support that's there all the way is just fab. So
thank you. Yeah, so you know, you've mentioned obviously, you know, that you've had different health issues. So obviously your results, you know, are quite dramatic, not necessarily something we would see physically on you. I know you've done before and afters, but, you know, I'd say that most people are talking more about how they're feeling than they are their results. But Heidi, you did touch on it briefly, but you said about, you know, the sort of support and things like that. We obviously run a Facebook group that, like, we do two a month, on the first Monday and the third Monday. People that want to do it on the same day as other people can start then. How have you found the support group? I know you've run one yourself. How have you found the support group? Oh, I think we just lost got you.
Yeah, it said, oh, this is how life is. It is. No, basically the support groups are fab. You know, I've coached one myself. What I love about it is it's no question is a silly question. And it's not only you've got the coach there, you've got support from everyone else that's doing it. And, you know, I remember the first time I did it, and I was like, I'd be in the supermarket with a bag of something and I'd take a photo and put it in the group. Can I have this, you know? And you don't get that anywhere else. And then people are like, you know, doing the recipes and showing how theirs has turned out, whether it looks good or bad. They say, yeah, but I made it, you know. And it's I think it's that when you might have a low time, like if you're someone who had a lot of caffeine, so day 3, 4, you might be feeling it a bit, or anywhere in the plan, you can put that in the group and you can be guaranteed there's, you know, 100 or more people feeling the same, and they'll come back and they'll say, look, just work through it, you know. Someone will always answer your problem, or cheer you with your positives. It's just a great way to do it, really.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think for me, that was a massive help, because I wasn't somebody who had the time to go along to a live meeting, a group, you know, that met once a week. That would put me off anyway, because that doesn't fit in with my lifestyle. I like that everything was to hand. I don't always remember things. The fact that there was a group there to tap into and check a shopping list, or ideas for this, that, and the other, or information even. I read something, and sometimes I need to read things 2 or 3 times for it to sink in. But if I've read a post about dairy, like, you know, it's answering your questions. Why are we eliminating dairy? Why are we eliminating gluten? Why, you know, why are we doing this? You know, and how is it helping our bodies? The fact that there were posts in there to go back and read, I found that so helpful. So again, like anything, you know, when you scroll through your phone, it's just making use of that time. So I personally absolutely love the Facebook support groups. If anyone's wondering, you know, how do we do it? That's great. I've just got a testimonial to read out. Laura Berry, who did the 30 days also last month, she wasn't able to make the call tonight, but she did send me this to read out to all of you. So my name is Laura Berry. I am a full-time mummy of 2. My background is in business administration and front of house. This is the first time I have done the 30-day reset. The reasons why I carried out this plan is to gain more energy, feel less bloated, and to sleep better. The feelings I had throughout the plan were very positive, and I battled my way out of 2 sickness bugs, which could have thrown me off course. However, I stuck to my word and I carried on like a trooper. But what I liked best about the plan was the structure of what I was having daily, which meant I didn't need to think too much about what I needed for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the meal plans were fantastic. I loved the detox tea and the cleanse, and I felt less bloated for sure. I didn't measure myself or weigh myself on this plan, as my aim was not to lose weight, but to have more energy, feel less bloated, and to sleep better, which all 3 I can passionately say I achieved 100%, and I am so proud of myself. So thank you, Laura, for sharing that. And kind of just really to finish up, we didn't really show you the actual pack of products you get. The price you pay, obviously go and speak to your independent consultant about this plan to find out even more. And obviously you can watch one of our previous videos that actually talks about how the plan works. But we do have a pack of products which massively help us get through the busy times, like most people have actually mentioned this evening already. You actually get a set of 9 products, and that is actually all you're paying for. There's a 40% discount standard on this, really, where you become a preferred client, which gets you kind of a VIP discount for an entire year. And you will always get 40% off of this pack for as long as you are one of our preferred clients. So you're getting 2 bags of protein, and these flavors are in vanilla or chocolate. You can have 2 of each or 1 of each. You can have 2 boxes of the herbal teas, the detox teas, can't say it, that a lot of people have mentioned on the call tonight. I personally like having these with a fizz stick as well. I have them in the morning because I love that extra flavour and taste and the extra vitamins as well. And you get 2 boxes of fizz sticks, and there's 30 drinks in each box as well, so that easily gets you through the month. And these can be in citrus or pomegranate, and at the moment currently in blackberry flavour. And again, you can have 2 different flavours or 2 of the same. You also get a bag of daily fibre boost as well. Something can be added into your shakes, can be added into food, doesn't change the taste of anything at all. And you get a box of Digestion Plus, which is kind of one of the biggest factors, I think, in terms of gut health for this entire program. It's you know, positive enzymes and prebiotics and probiotics that are really, really helping clean out that gut. I mean, we talk about, you know, dishwashers and washing machines, cleaning machines that actually need cleaning themselves. We have a gut, we have kidneys, we have a liver that are all designed to help us eliminate things that our body doesn't need or doesn't want. And of course, those things need cleaning as well. Then you also have a choice between a pot of greens balance or a cleanse drink that you would take maybe in the 2nd or 3rd week of detox. This is a choice between the 2, and I definitely speak to your independent consultant about which one would be best for you. And in terms of the protein shakes, you have a choice of protein or meal replacement. We find protein is very popular, especially with people that are active. You do not have to be having an active life to get results from this plan. As we said, it's all about healthy living and energy. So that's basically it, guys. Unless there's anything anyone else would like to share on the call, I'm just going to quickly look through your screen, wave at me if anyone wants to say anything else. But I think we've kind of covered a lot tonight. I just want to say thank you to those guys who shared. Like I said, there are so many more people out there doing this plan, and it works because it is designed for the body, to clean the body. It's not a quick fix, and there's no getting away from it. If you want to eat bad foods, you have to suffer the consequences. But we can absolutely help you with those cravings. Sweet sugar cravings, chocolate protein is amazing, and what you can turn it into. I'm sure Tom's got loads of recipes he can help you with with that in his creative kitchen. But yeah, we can absolutely 100% help you with all those things. If weight loss is an issue for you, then yes, it's going to help you, but it is about healthy eating. So please go back to your Arbonne consultant and tell them, say, I want to do this, I'm going to do this, and do it with us or without us, but you can do it with hundreds of people and make loads of new friends online. So thank you for your time, everyone. This will be a shareable call, so you can share it with your friends, and we hope to hear from you soon. Thank you, everyone. Bye.